In the heart of the African savannah, under a golden sun that burned the earth, a brave warthog named Temba trotted through the tall grasses. His tusks gleamed like ivory in the sunlight, and his thick skin was a testament to years of survival against the harsh elements and fierce predators. Temba was no ordinary warthog. He had seen his share of danger, outwitting hunters, dodging predators, and surviving the perils of the wild. On this particular day, though, Temba faced a challenge unlike any he had encountered before. From the edge of the savannah, hidden beneath the shade of an acacia tree, a lion watched. His name was Kazi, and he was the king of this land. Powerful, sleek, and swift, Kazi had ruled over the plains for years, his strength unmatched by any other predator. His amber eyes followed Temba, calculating. The warthog was alone, a rare sight in the wild, and Kazi's hunger stirred. A solitary warthog would make a fine meal. With a low growl, Kazi rose from his spot and began to move silently through the grass, his muscles rippling with every step. Temba, unaware of the lion's presence, continued his journey across the savannah, his nose twitching as he searched for food. He was used to danger, but there was something different in the air today, a sense that the hunt was closing in. Then, it happened. A rustling in the grass. The faint sound of paws padding softly on the earth. Temba's ears flicked back, and in an instant, his instincts kicked in. He spun around, just as Kazi leaped from the shadows, his massive paws slamming into the ground. The lion's roar shattered the silence of the savannah, but Temba was already in motion. With a speed that would have surprised any onlooker, Temba darted to the side, narrowly avoiding the lion's claws. He bolted toward a rocky outcrop, his hooves pounding against the earth, his heart racing. The wind whipped through his fur, and the scent of danger was thick in the air. Kazi's powerful form surged after him, a blur of muscle and speed. "Run, Temba, run," he thought, urging his body to go faster. The warthog's tusks scraped against the rocks as he scrambled up the uneven terrain. His thick legs were strong, but the lion's grace and power were undeniable. Kazi's roar echoed again, louder this time, and the ground shook beneath Temba's feet as the lion closed in. Temba glanced over his shoulder, seeing the lion's massive form in the distance, his golden mane glinting in the sun like a flame. There was no time to lose. Temba needed to act quickly or risk being caught. The rocky outcrop ahead was his only chance. With a burst of energy, Temba leaped toward it, his hooves clattering against the stones. The lion was fast, but Temba was clever. He scrambled to the highest point, where the rocks were jagged and sharp, making it difficult for the lion to follow. Kazi slowed as he reached the base of the rocks, his eyes narrowing with frustration. He paced back and forth, his powerful chest rising and falling with each breath. He could have waited for Temba to tire, but there was something about the warthog's bravery that intrigued him. This was no ordinary prey. Temba stood at the top of the rocky outcrop, his sides heaving. He was fast, but he was no match for Kazi's strength in direct combat. The warthog knew he had only one option left. He would have to outsmart the lion. As Kazi growled below, Temba spotted something in the distance, an old, dried-up riverbed. It wasn't much, but it was a place where he could make a stand. With a burst of courage, Temba bolted down the rocky slope, using the sharp rocks to his advantage. He zigzagged through the tall grass, staying low to the ground to confuse Kazi. The lion roared in fury and chased after him, but Temba's plan was already set in motion. The dried riverbed was a narrow passage, perfect for a warthog's agility. Kazi, though fast, was too large to navigate the winding path as swiftly as Temba could. The lion's frustration grew with every misstep. As Temba neared the riverbed, he made a final, desperate push. With a burst of energy, he dashed through the narrow gap, the lion just steps behind. Temba reached the far side of the riverbed and paused for a moment, turning to face Kazi. The lion's eyes were wild with rage. His body was slick with sweat, and his muscles trembled with the effort of the chase. But Kazi had underestimated the warthog's will to survive. With a defiant snort, Temba dug his hooves into the earth, ready to make his stand. The lion growled deeply, but it was no longer a sound of triumph. It was a sound of recognition. The warthog had outwitted him. Kazi gave one last frustrated growl before turning away, realizing that this battle was not his to win. Temba had shown him that the true strength of the wild lay not in sheer power, but in the bravery and cunning of those who refused to give up. As the lion disappeared into the savannah, Temba stood tall, his chest puffed with pride. He was small, but his heart was fierce, and in this battle of brains versus brawn, it was the brave warthog who had triumphed. And so, the legend of Temba, the brave warthog, spread across the land, a tale of courage and cunning that would be told for generations to come. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.